Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Watson. Into a double team. And oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. Exactly right. A lost opportunity.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That good for 19 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
19! You can't block me. You can't block me.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. A throw out line to QT, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Set, ready? 60 or. It's been a long day for you. Shoot!
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
132 fighter.
Now Cook running right, and he is going to lose yardage here. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. You're out. Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Fournette, a 1st down carry. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
10 yards there. Good enough for a Texan 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number 1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Vikings 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Black. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Next to score, Texans 14, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 31. Check 31.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
90 Wolf. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw. Today you are. Not today. Fair. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
On the set. Left. Watch left. Big stop. Go.
He'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And Eifert has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
First down, Texans.
Reset. 19. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Houston. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch your slant. Watch your slant. Watch your slant. Shift. Central West. Hey, Sam off. Snap.
He'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Ready.
They'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen is complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Gates, the intended receiver there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
54 miles. Hey, watch your leg.
He's got Fuller, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Fournette on the counter. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
From the red zone now, Watson. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Back to throw here. Setting up the screen for Cook. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22.
That's another Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to...
He's got it at the 15. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Tyler Eifert. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A final shot before break. Walsh. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been. And he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Check hard, get it.
They'll set up a throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Mullins and the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He'll look to throw, looking for the end zone, and that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Oh, he dropped it, and that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Here we go.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mike 41.
They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Vikings, nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously cost one.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Cook. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. 8, read. Rip left, rip left. Ready.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 45 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
Everyone felt like this game was over, but to be able to stay in it, put together a drive, score a touchdown, that's got to be a positive for them.
Zerline good with a PAT. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Leonard Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Black. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. 30 base.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Deep grip.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
We got 4.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Oh! 18 Gator.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Down. 8 read.
First down, Texans.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Ready. 60 yards.
I got you, son. I got you, son. Watch twist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Set up. 60 Pittsburgh.
55 to Mike. Tighten up. Pull it together.
Hit it.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 6. And that's complete to Gates. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
42, Vikings 14. Greg Zuerlein.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
go now.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
18 Gators.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Ready.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback reaps it. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a chance to